Aloha, boys and girls. I don't know about you, though for me, I'm in this childlike state right now where I'm totally emotional. Some people call this little space in the BDSM community, also known as age regression, to handle and manage stress. It can also be seen as a psychological disorder. However, some women, including myself, right, we could blame it on the time of the month, that we're more sensitive than normal. Or we could just be the parent to our own inner kid and acknowledge our feelings and our needs and create patterns of self-care and self-regulation when things become kind of chaotic for us to handle. Today I'm having to be a big girl for myself. I'm taking care of business. It's business and ways that I can only service Trina. As much as it would be nice to be inheriting millions of dollars and not having to have any concerns, essentially, about what I'm allowed to have and how I'm allowed to help others, and the conditioning of my future that only remains in my hands, and my trust in my company that I can expect, know, and rely on. So today I'm headed to the college because I need to figure out if I still am qualified, if you will, or applicable, or able to receive financial aid besides loans. I am attempting to avoid loans at all costs because I learned a long time ago, due to a credit card, how useless this all is. And while the system is quite chaotic and confusing, my child self is attempting to request and require a structured home of her own piece of land that is safe, and she commands the boundaries. And a second thing I will be doing is I need to go to the surgeon's office and square up the boundaries and figure out how much will I have to pay in anesthesia and all other expenses they may require me to pay outside of pocket from health insurance. And I will have to find a doctor that I feel good and great with this procedure. I'm definitely noticing my ankle causing me so much grief. All of the nerves and everything that's in it, I can feel it shooting up to my knees, and I'm recognizing spinal galant and spinal Perez. These are infant reflexes that are continuing into the adult specimens. And I'm learning from my own personal experience and working with my teacher, touchofthewilderness.com. I'm greatly motivated by what I see her doing and what she's teaching me, and I'm not allowing it to go wasted. Her breath is going heard. It's not always registering. I'm not always capable of completely understanding that viewpoint, that understanding, that language, that emotion. However, I am serving my very best I can. And sometimes I can recognize myself telling myself a story that I am not good enough, or that this isn't qualified. I am seeing all the things I need to do and the time frames and the intelligence of accomplishing these goals. It's important that I be mindful, which I can only serve myself. For even the people who speak languages at me do not know their own intentions with me. They think they do. However, they don't even know themselves. They aren't centered. They aren't the authentic self. We are all constantly in this process of acceptance of the self and transcendence, where we attempt to manipulate ourselves to go through challenges are the razor edges to our refinement and development of the self, so that we love and accept the self in ways we would wish a romantic partner to. I have been receiving a lot of information, downloads, or even communications through the mouths of multiple souls, which all seem to be saying the same things. It can be uncomforting sometimes to have to accept and acknowledge infinite truths that no one else can validate except for the self. It's painful. I am working on comforting myself in my sense of knowing myself and my power within the next 30 seconds, what I can do. I can make goals and intentions for this day and for this picnic and this date. Though sometimes Mother Earth has a language of her own that she is attempting to communicate, and not everyone can hear and understand her or even recognize her existence. Some people don't even care about plants and animals. They barely care about themselves. They just eat what tastes good instead of what serves their body in the healthiest manner. I am learning to teach self-love by embodying the challenges and issues myself. The things worth possessing aren't always easy, or else everyone would do it. My intuition is going off like crazy, the things I am to be doing, and it's quite stressful having to fight my own ego, my child self that doesn't want to do anything, that it just would like to just be, instead of having to be such a soldier of God and working all the time. And then the ego self makes one feel bad for saying, I would like this, or I need this, or this would serve me pleasure. It's uncomfortable. Though it's also very comfortable and loving when I can love myself in this way that no one else can accomplish for me. No one else can validate me. I can seek that love and that understanding and compassion and servitude. However, again, most people can't serve these things to themselves. It's complicated. However, I guess I can say thank you for those who can't be there for me, and that have so many issues that it allows me to see my own reflection in a new light. When I thought I was completely sick of myself. Essentially, I recognize I am doing my very best, and I am in the process of growth and development. I have so much love. And there are parts where I am unlovable, where I notice restrictions to my cells and my feelings, holding myself back, afraid to accept gifts, afraid to accept love, understanding that everything seems to be conditional. Plus all these subconscious imprints connected to sexual energy and conditioning of the human experience, meaning what you have been through and what has morphed you into the person you are. For example, many times I have issues accepting love and affection from male specimens due to childhood. My expectations and understandings of the male specimen are quite skewed, if you will, from the intentions and the behaviors and the actions of men being so ruled by their genitalia in some ways where they are timid and fearful and not listening to their genitalia, pointing them in the right direction, versus the other way where they're overreactive to how their genitalia is responding and then misinterpreting the present moment and their servitude and what they have to give. We are most attracted to healthy people. That is taken from my teacher, ZTM. It's most important for me to get this ankle thing taken care of. Otherwise, it's going to be difficult to go to school and to keep doing everything else in my life. I can feel the pain shooting up into my shin. I would love to see my acupuncturist. I'm going to see if I can get in tomorrow or see her soon. I do appreciate those of you who have sent contributions towards my health and regenerative process towards my own personal growth and development. I'm thankful for those who have compassion and allowance for the way that I choose to spend my resources. I understand there's many who wouldn't really support me doing frog poisons or ayahuasca or traveling to Peru. They'll say that it's not necessary or that I don't deserve it. So many of you have treated me like I was a goddess or Isis or some type of human being that deserved to be seen. I personally believe that we all deserve to be seen and treated in these ways. However, I recognize if I don't have it, how can I give it? So I'm in this process of hoping, wishing, wanting, right, that Pandora's box. And now I'm having to take steps for myself to see what's up with school. I'll admit, I'm not sure if I really want to go to this school that I'm here at now. I do like the idea of going to a new school in another state, even if I'm paying out-of-state tuition. There's something kind of exciting about that, and being able to experiment. And there's another part of me that has other schools on my agenda that are just dreams of going to, such as becoming a massage therapist at the Edgar Cayce ARE, even though the license would only be applicable in Virginia. There's something so alluring to that. I'm just attempting to acknowledge how I feel and surrender to my feelings, though first there is like a list or baby steps that I have to take. One of them being, yes, absolutely, I have to look into my ankle. I'm not looking forward to it, and of course I don't really choose to pay out of pocket for anesthesia. It'd be nice if I had wealthy individuals around me who could just cover this for me, though I feel like God is testing me because I'm going to have to like really pay for it myself if this is really what I want. You know, and if it's God's will, I feel like it's just gonna come naturally, you know what I mean? Of course, I'm really fearful, and I don't really like the idea of like, okay, my ankle just hurts a little bit, you know? Though I just know that like this can get so much worse as I age, so I'd rather be in like my most healthiest state, which is now. My only battles are definitely like with my attitude. I need to stay positive. It's just so difficult to stay positive when I'm constantly influenced in helping others who aren't on my vibration level, where they're able to serve me superior, positive, clean, like goddess loving energy. You know, there's a lot of using and abusing energy and a lot of non-attachment. And it's really frustrating to be in this process of development. I'm looking for commitment, not just from my partner, though also from like my friends and my community. And there's just so many who are just stuck in this habitual pattern of sugar, and like they don't even brush their teeth or scrape their tongue or like serve themselves appropriately. They have no education on like what's up with the food pyramid and why we were all suggested grains and bread as like the poor people individual. We know scientifically what this stuff does to all of our stomachs. You know, we can pull the gene keys over and over again that I'm this from this father and these 4 skull types and 4 blood types. Like, it's so much more intricate than that, and we are so obsessed as a species with eugenics, and I'm annoyed. I've always been annoyed because I've seen in movies and had great visions and prophecies of knowing where the future is going, and while I recognize I have no control over it, I would like to be of assistance to the people where they see their power and their resonance and their ability to create something that doesn't exist right now, that yes, may cost them getting killed. You know, there's been a lot of people who have been promoting special types of energy. Does that make sense? Like people who are trying to create energy that runs off of other devices that don't include oil and things like that. Okay, a lot of these people have gotten destroyed, such as like these planes of like health professionals that suddenly go missing when they're on their way to conferences and things like that of this nature. I recognize and see the shadows. I hope that you can. I understand there's a lot of conspiracy theories and that there's a lot of what's called counterintelligence, like things that are meant to throw you off. I'm looking for my network, those individuals who just would like to book me for my time, spend an hour with me on camera or on voice chat, commission me and fund me to be with you and to pick my brain and share with you what I know and just give back to my energy. If you can afford more and more power to you. However, let's at least go $1 a minute, maybe more, depending on what kind of energy you need from me. I understand that God made me as a healer and a energy worker and metaphysical person, if you will, as I access these unseen worlds and information that I choose to share with you to assist those of you who are on the lower levels who wish to get to a higher vibrational level. One of the main instant ways I can suggest that is by working with essential oils, and not to be a snake oil woman. I am holding gatherings of essential oils that are for sale. Any scent that you can think of, I have available access to getting a really great deal at almost any smell that you can think of. And I kind of pride myself on being able to put together blends. So if you like to ask me what's available to you, I'll tell you what the price is. I'll ask that you cover shipping, and if you wish to add a donation for me putting my intuition on you, that's really up to you, And I'm also a big believer of pay it forward. So if you don't serve me, perhaps you'll serve another. And right now, my main focus is opening my heart. And I need to get connected to the earth. That's the best way for me to heal and work with myself. I am tempted to go out to the springs. However, again, business calls. I'm procrastinating way too much time. I have to go inside the college now and go speak with my advisor and see what's available to me and what work is going to have to be done. And if I'm not getting financial aid, how much will each class cost? And, is Trina going to be able to be most present in the class if she's paying $300-400 a class? Is she going to be able to, be present? And that's very important. And I do believe assessing my personal pain is going to be a main thing. However, I recognize things could go even more wrong. So I'm attempting not to make any drastic moves at this time during Mercury retrograde. And it's resurfacing what needs to come up. And I need your prayers. That's the main thing I need right now. I know that I have stated some wishes that I have, some cheesy material objects that I think are going to bring me comfort right now. However, the biggest thing I need is actually stable grounds, right? Like a safe environment where I can call home. And it might take some reevaluations, intentions, and gatherings for me to really establish a place where I own completely on my own, that no one can take away from me. And I believe that I need to really decide where in this universe am I really going to go. I mean, there's a part of me that definitely wants to take a road trip out to Utah and Oregon and to go do all this great adventurous stuff. And my job is kind of creating a contract right now where I'm working every single weekend. Not that I'm ungrateful. And it's just a learning process. And I'm hoping that everything's going to work out and that I will get my wishes and I'll be able to travel still and do things on weekends instead of constantly working every single weekend. And I am enjoying every single moment. Breathing, drinking water, brushing my teeth, brushing my hair, bathing multiple times a day, as much as possible, removing energetic debris, taking care of laundry, and having a clean environment where I have freedom to think and express myself and not have my thoughts conditioned to what I'm seeing. Some of you may be holding on to some objects that really you should eliminate. And these are things that only you will know that are affecting you in a negative way. They'll also recognize why you have